morning, good morning, good morning. You're in the kitchen with Angela, this Creole Roots Girl 47. Thank you for joining me this Sunday morning. Today I'm going to be creating a dish, stuffed bell peppers. If you know New Orleans people, we love our stuffed bell pepper dishes. It will be a Sunday morning dish for dinner, for family, or we do it on holidays. Today it's not going to be the traditional stuffed bell pepper dish. I'm going to create two different versions of it this morning, and we're going to have red, yellow, and green peppers. One is going to actually be with rice and chicken, with our version of a broccoli and cheese sort of dish. And then the other one's going to be our quinoa with shrimp and artichoke. So I'm going to create these dishes today. Bear with me, this is my first time ever attempting this, but usually my dishes turn out okay. So thank you again for joining me in my kitchen today. Welcome, welcome, welcome to everyone. I'm going to start off with my bell peppers. I'm going to go ahead and show you how I'm going to prepare them. Like I said, it's going to be two different versions today. This video might not take that long as usual, but we'll see. So here are my bell peppers. I have my celery. Parsley. I'm sorry. I have my parsley. I have my bell peppers. I'm going to start by cutting the tops off. Okay. I cut my tops off. They were already pre-washed. I'll place my tops to the side if I decide to use them. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them to top the dish. I want you to see the inside of the dish and what it looks like. I could save the tops of the bell pepper for seasoning for another day or something. If I decide to use them, we'll see. If I don't, then it is what it is, right? So here it goes. Creole Roots 47, attempting to do non-traditional New Orleans stuffed bell pepper. And I'm just detaching them, making sure I get all the seeds out. That's all. I'm getting all my seeds out, placing them to the side. And you want to use the whole bell pepper. You don't want to waste anything, like I said, because you can cook something else. We always use the Holy Trinity when we're cooking. That's bell pepper, onion, and celery. Then we have our additives with the parsley flakes, garlic. Just wakes up the flavor and everything, you know. And so I'm just cleaning out the insides of each pepper. I've already pre-washed them, as I stated. Then I'm going to bring you over to the stove, and I'm going to start processing my chicken on the stove, placing my bell peppers aside. Okay, so we're gonna see how this dish comes out. This is new to me. Like I said, I normally stuff it with a dressing. I know other people may call it stuffing, but we call it dressing. There's different things. Stuffing, I'm not too fond of that, but I like dressing though. Dressing, you can make anything with it. You can add a bunch of seafood in it. You can add meats in it if you're not a seafood person. But either way it go, it's a dressing to us, okay? And so I have all my peppers cut up and ready. They're ready to go to the side. I'm going to take some of my flat leaf parsley and skim off some pieces and get that ready. Put that to the side. And I'm just going to go ahead and chop up some pieces. This is so aromatic. It smells so good. I love fresh herbs and stuff. I really do. And I really am glad you guys joined me in my kitchen today. So I got everything set up. While I'm doing this, I'm going to go ahead and start my pan for my chicken. So I'm going to start sauteing my chicken and everything in the pan with some olive oil. Okay, I already pre-seasoned my chicken. And we'll get that mixture started. We'll get everything going. And I hope you're having a great Sunday. I woke up this morning feeling pretty skittish, but I'm waking up as I got my morning coffee. I love black coffee. It's coffee with chicory in it. New Orleans is famous for the chicory coffee. You can smell it all over the bridge when you're passing through. When they're brewing that coffee, it's the most wonderful smell ever. I really appreciate you guys. So we're going to start over here. Okay. I have my pan already heating up for me. I have my chicken I cut up in chunks. I'm going to be using my olive oil. I'm going to be using Uncle Ben's pre-cooked basmati rice. I'm not going to heat it up or anything because we're going to put the mixture together. I have some pepper jack cheese, some cream of mushroom. Well, I mean, not cream of mushroom. I'm sorry. That's broccoli soup. I have my good old broccoli here. And we're going to use Parmesan cheese today. Okay? Parmesan Romano. So thank you again for joining me in the kitchen. I'm going to start coating my pan. We're going to start get things rolling up in here today. I like to use wooden spoons on these non-stick pans to keep you from ruining your pan. And if you're a cook and you love utensils and good pans and pots and stuff, you might want to, do that. Make sure you don't do any wreckage toward your pan. You know what I'm saying? So I got my chicken. I'm going to saute it, get it all nice and brown. We're going to pull it off the stove. Then we're going to start assembling the chicken and rice. And we're going to stuff it. Let me turn on my oven to 350. Let it preheat. Make sure nothing's in it because I was actually cooking my black iron frying pans. After I cook out of them, I wash them up real good. Let them cook on top the stove, then redo them in the oven. I want to keep my pans nice and coated when you're dealing with black iron frying pans. I don't want to overcook my chicken because I'm going to cook it again in the oven. So I just want to get it, nice and brown a little bit all over. Then I'll pull it off the heat. I'm going to add my rice, broccoli, and all the other ingredients to the pan. After I pull it off the heat, let me move this to the side. And then I'll assemble the bell pepper. 3 different colors we're going to use today. And it's going to be our broccoli rice stuffed bell pepper. Broccoli and cheese rice stuffed bell pepper today, okay? So the chicken is beginning to brown. Like I said, I don't want to overcook the chicken. So I'm going to be pulling it off because you're going to cook it again in the oven with the bell pepper. So, and I'm going to assemble this dish. I try not to use too many seasonings in it or anything because this is going home with my son today. He comes over on Sundays to get his meals. And he likes to keep a very healthy diet as well. Okay? So with his mom having all the issues she had with lupus, he tries to maintain a healthier diet so he won't have to go through the things that I go through, which I try to maintain a healthy diet too. So this chicken is ready for me to pull out. I don't want it to lose its moisture or anything. So this is how it's looking. It's cooked. So I'm going to let that sit to the side. Then I'm going to add my rice. Well, no, I'll add the broccoli first because the broccoli's kind of cold. So I'll add the broccoli. And I don't need the whole bag of broccoli. So I'm going to heat it up with the chicken just a little bit, because like I said, we're going to go back and stuff everything with the rice, the cheese sauce, and then we're going to put it in the stuffed bell pepper, okay? So this is what I'm doing today, just looking out for my son. He's a great kid. I have 2 boys. They're 10 years apart. One lives in Seattle area. The other one lives out in Fort Worth. So I'm talking to you live from Grand Prairie. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Okay. Again, it is Sunday. And I'm preparing a nice meal for my son. I already cooked my black-eyed peas. I got up early this morning. I put them on the stove and I let them cook for a couple of hours. They came out perfect. I'm excited about them. So there's no reason to cook anything else with it. We're going to have the black-eyed peas and the stuffed bell pepper today. And there's already rice in the dish, so there's no need for any other carbs. So we have vegetable versions, rice, dairy, all that in one. So now I'm going to add the rice. And I chose this version of rice because this version of rice is pretty long and sturdy. So I chose this version purposely because it's gonna look a little bit better in the dish, you know. So I'm just trying to get it all marinated together. I'm gonna add a little Creole seasoning. Not much. Like I said, I have to be careful with the way my son's dishes come out. Because of family heredity things, we don't want to overdo it with seasoning, but we want it to have flavor. And this is turning out pretty good. One of my broccoli pieces jumped out of the pan. We want to put that back in there. So this is going to be a stuffed bell pepper with broccoli, rice, and chicken. I'm going to add a little bit seasoning. I love to have my Creole seasoning. I'm going to use a little bit of that Tony Chachere, because this is going to be a lot of flavor in here. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little Parmesan cheese. Just a little bit. It gives you a lot of flavor too. I'm going to use the pepper jack cheese. I already turned off the heat off the stove, so everything's going to blend well without it being over. So I'm adding my cheese now. Put that to the side. And I'm just going to start putting things together. Then I'm going to test it, see how it tastes. If I need to add a little more seasoning, then I will before I stuff the pepper. So it's coming out pretty cool so far. And if you were making dinner for more than one person, then you would use all 6 peppers and you know a lot more ingredients. But like I said, this is just for him, and if he has a little company, they can have at it too. So I think this is a good amount, because I'm going to also add pepper jack cheese in this, and I don't want to overwhelm the dish. So just breaking up the rice pieces. And then what I'm going to do is coat the pan with the little chicken broth, okay? So I think this is coming together good. There you have it. This is my broccoli and cheese rice with the chicken in it. Broccoli, cheese, rice with chicken. And then some food escaped again from the pan. And then I'm gonna add the pepper jack cheese in there. I'm gonna top it with some Parmesan cheese. And then I'll taste it, see how it tastes. Stuff the peppers. Put it in a pan. I'm only gonna use 3 of this type. I'm gonna only use 3. So let me take and test it. I could add a little butter in there if I chose to. You can do a butter olive oil blend. Perfect. Love it. That is good. So I'm gonna go ahead and get me a pan out. Okay, another black iron frying pan. I love these things. They're my babies. I love them. So I'm gonna coat the pan. I coated my pan real good. Bless me. Okay, so after coating my pan, I'm gonna go ahead and drop this in here. The rest of the sauce from the Campbell's condensed broccoli and cheese soup. Then I'm going to go ahead and whisk the bottom of it. You can add a little cream if you choose to. I have some good cheese and I'll add some butter in there too. So this is whipping cream. I'm going to add a little whipping cream to the bottom. A little butter. Okay, get me a good old butter knife and just drop some butter in there. Makes a little sauce, so if he decides he wanted a little sauce, it's gonna be in there, bursting with flavor. So that's basically all I did. Make a little cream sauce at the bottom of each pepper. Then I'm gonna take and start stuffing my peppers. So I'm gonna need a bigger spoon. I'm gonna try to overstuff them too. Then we're gonna bake them in the oven. Get some of that chicken in there. And the cheese is already running out, overflowing. I love this. So this is my pepper. We started off with the red bell pepper. Take a look at that, looking all pretty and nice. I'm gonna drop that pepper in there like that. Then I got my green pepper. Fill it up pretty good. Make sure it overflows because you're going to be cooking this quite a bit of time. About 30 minutes till everything blends together. Now we have our green stuffed bell pepper. You see all the cheese running out. Put that there. And then I'm gonna do the orange bell pepper. So I got all my chicken pieces in here. This is pretty cool. This is, like I said, my first run at this. I'm trying to be as healthy as I possibly can. Make sure you have more vegetables in your diet, more than even fruit, because fruit has a tendency to be so sweet. And fruit is good, but vegetables are better. So I have my 3 peppers here. Got my 3 peppers there. I'm gonna go ahead and add more Parmesan cheese. Close up the lid. And I'm gonna bake it in the oven at 350 for 30 minutes until the pepper becomes soft. I just want to add a little cheese on top of each pepper. Okay. So here you have it. My broccoli, cheese, and chicken stuffed bell peppers. And then I'm going to move this to the side because I'm going to put it in the oven, like I said, on 350. I have some ingredients left. I can always put this aside for another day or something. Just a little little carb for me, not much, because I can't have too many carbs because of my situation. My carbs have to be very low so it won't raise your blood sugars. So have to be careful with carbs when you're dealing with a person who has autoimmune disease. Carbs are not that good because your pancreas doesn't work. So I'm gonna get started on my stuffed bell peppers this edition, which is gonna be the quinoa, shrimp, and artichoke. So I'm gonna go ahead. This was already pre-cooked, okay? So what I did was I have my artichoke and quinoa in here. This is very easy to assemble. I'm gonna assemble this really quick. I have my baking dish here. And then I'm going to add my marinara sauce at the bottom. Okay, like I said, the quinoa, the artichoke already came pre-cooked. All I'm doing is assembling it. If I need a little bit more season, I'll use it. But I've tasted this before. This is a very good lunch or dish, so I don't really need to taste it. I'll add a little more seasoning to it. Here's my shrimp. And I'm gonna add my shrimp in. And a little Parmesan cheese, a little more Creole seasoning. And then we're gonna stuff these peppers. So this dish is new to me, and I appreciate you guys joining me. And we're gonna see the finishing touches. Just wanted to do something a little different with a different flair. And I'm gonna mix all these ingredients together, and then we'll stuff the peppers. I'm gonna add some parsley in this dish and a little seasoning. That's really basically all this is. We're gonna cook this on 350 like the other pepper for about 30 minutes. So I'm gonna add my seasoning. And I'm gonna add my Parmesan cheese. This is a pre-cooked meal, but then we're gonna cook it again in the oven. So this will be considered a pescatarian dish. If you're a pescatarian, you love seafood, or you just don't like to eat other parts of meat, only sea meat from the ocean, this is a good dish for you. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna stuff each pepper with the, oh, I forgot one thing. I gotta add my parsley. I forgot all about my parsley. This is a very aromatic dish. And there you go. I have my parsley in there now. I almost forgot. So just got that all mixed up. Probably want to use a different spoon. To stuff it with. But this artichoke is so good with the way they put the tomato in there, the fresh herbs and stuff. It's very good. So now I'm gonna go ahead, since I almost forgot one thing, now I'm gonna add this into my stuffed bell pepper. And this is something you eat all of it. It's not just eat the inside, you eat the whole pepper too. So it's a very healthy dish. Quinoa stuffed bell pepper. Just place it in. I'll get me out my other pepper here. And I'm gonna stuff it as much as I can with all these good flavors. I want you guys to be able to see the pieces of shrimp. So packing that down in there, it's pretty packed well. And then I'm gonna get the last one, which is the red pepper. And the rest of this I can microwave or put in a pan and heat up, cook till the shrimp becomes pink. And once the shrimp is pink, you know that only takes about 5 minutes or more. Once the shrimp is pink, then we can go ahead and pull it out off the stove. And there you have it. I have my stuffed bell pepper, quinoa shrimp and artichoke stuffed bell pepper and marinara sauce. There it is. You have it, guys. So I'm going to put this in the oven. And we're going to put it on 350, which I preheated the oven. And we're going to put both pans in there for about 30 minutes till this becomes very soft. And I really appreciate you guys joining me here today, this Sunday morning. And I'm going to start off by getting this in the oven now. And you'll see a picture of our finishing touches. Again, you're in the kitchen with Angela, this Creole Roots girl. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. Thank you again for joining me in my kitchen. Have a wonderful day.